What's happening, guys? Today we are going to be going over a little bit on bookkeeping and accounting. To do that, I have an expert coming on the channel. This is Alex from Osome. What I like about their service is that it's pretty universal. They're pretty flexible on helping clients in all different situations, which I know a lot of you are in. That's why I've chosen to have them on so you can hear what they can offer. We're going to go through things like, can Osome help you if you're a UK seller or a US seller, if you're a sole proprietor or a company, as well as the different levels of service they can help you with, because they can help you with kind of basic bookkeeping or just like year-end filing, but they can also help you with actually looking into the bookkeeping and the numbers and understanding where you want to expand. So you actually start looking at bookkeeping as a way of improving your company's performance. So they have all different levels as well, which you're going to learn about. And it's not only about this tool and this service, it's also about learning about bookkeeping in general. We're going to go over things like, when does VAT or sales tax become important and what's the differences there, as well as some other tips and tricks you can start implementing today in your business regarding this. I think you're going to enjoy this one, so let's jump in. Welcome, Alex, to the channel, and I'm very glad to have Alex here. He's actually the managing director of the Osome branch in the UK. And what Osome does is specific to e-commerce, accounting, and bookkeeping. And a lot of you guys have been asking me about that on the channel. How do you do your bookkeeping? How do you do accounting? What's important? What about VAT? All those types of questions. Alex is going to help us answer those today. So Alex, I just want to give you a big welcome to the channel. If you want to introduce yourself, and then just a brief overview of how can Osome help sellers.
Yep, sure. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm very glad to be here. Yeah, my name is Alex. I'm looking after the UK branch of Osome, and Osome is a specialized accounting and bookkeeping services for Amazon sellers and all the other e-commerce businesses. So what we do, basically, we provide full scope accounting and bookkeeping services for pretty much anyone who sells online.
And then some of the sellers watching are set up in different ways. So some might be sole proprietors, others might be, or also known as sole traders in the UK, but others will actually have companies or corporations, maybe LLCs in the US or limited companies in the UK. Can Osome help both those types of individuals?
Yeah, sure, of course. We help pretty much any legal setup of the companies. We try to urge our customers, like if you are a sole trader and your business is growing, we would recommend you to set up a limited company, and we will help you actually to set up a limited company. So if you would come to our accounting package as a sole trader, we will do a limited company registration for you for free. And yeah, in the UK, we provide the full scope of accounting and bookkeeping services for any type of the companies. And in the US, at the moment, we provide sellers with the bookkeeping services only. So we will get your books up to the point where they are ready for your CPA to review and file the taxes.
Okay, Alex, and then on that, I think there's an important point you make there, and it brings up another question, is why? Why would you recommend someone move from sole proprietorship or sole tradership to a limited company? Is that based on just like financial efficiency, or what are the reasonings for doing that?
The main reason would be is that, like, limited company, as it stands out of the name of the company, it limits your responsibility as an individual. Like whatever obligations your business have, it has nothing to do with your own finances and your own situation. So it kind of separates yourself as a person from the legal entity, from your business.
Okay, so basically if my company were to get sued, like if there's a product liability issue or something like that, that doesn't fall back on my personal assets. It only falls back on the company's assets. Is that
That
what
is
you're saying?
that is correct.
Okay, perfect. And then just to clarify, so if you're a UK seller with a UK company, or in fact, you could be based anywhere, but you have a UK company, then Osome can help you with everything from the general bookkeeping to also filing and getting everything done. And then in the US, they will help you with the bookkeeping, and then you have everything you need just to pass on to your CPA at year end, and the US based CPA will just do the filing part. Is that a kind of accurate representation of how you can help sellers across the board?
Indeed, yeah, that is accurate. That is accurate, and I would like to add that we maybe touch base on this later on, but like I would like to add that there are actually two parts in accounting services that I can see. The first part is the what we call compliance part, is the part where you do accounting and bookkeeping just in order to be compliant with whatever regulation is in the country where your entity is set up. But there is a second part which a lot of the sellers forget, that accounting actually can help you run the business, right? So there is an addition of management reports where we, in addition to general bookkeeping and accounting, we will talk to the sellers. We understand how their business is structured, what SKUs they are selling on what markets, and we will provide you with the actionable numbers, with profitability reports. We will show you where the money come from, where do you invest, and like what are your margins across your like product matrix.
And guys, just a quick note here, if you don't watch this to the end, Osome and I have partnered together where Osome's going to offer you £150 for free. So basically, you get the first month absolutely free if you go with tier 2. So it's just something to note if you don't watch to the end, and you can check out the link in the description below.
5 minutes later.
What I've realized with a lot of the sellers who watch this channel is that they're sometimes from completely different countries to what you would expect sellers to be from. They might be in Malaysia or Pakistan or all these different areas. Can Osome help sellers in specific countries? Or better said, can Osome help sellers who have companies registered in different regions? And what's kind of your policy there? How much can you flex there? Just for someone who's watching, who's not from the US or UK, who wants really good bookkeeping services and help in this area, how can Osome help them?
At the moment, we are operational in the UK, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and like limited operations, as I said, the bookkeeping only in the US. So if the seller is based somewhere else, out of not in those countries that I've just mentioned, that we would propose the seller to set up a legal entity in one of those jurisdictions in order for us to basically help them out.
Okay. And it's funny, Alex and I were speaking before this, and he said he watched my seller account setup video, how that proposes you set up in one of those regions anyway, because getting approval for your seller account is going to be easy. And another huge benefit to that is, of course, what we're speaking about is then you have very easy access to e-commerce specific accounting, bookkeeping, and just keeping your business in line with everything there. So that's kind of a double pro if you do that. And if you're in one of those countries, that's what we would both recommend, is just set up your legal entity in one of those countries, which is usually easy to do, doesn't require citizenship, often doesn't even require a visit. But of course, the bank account might require a visit and stuff like that.
Yep, definitely. We will hold your hand and like walk you through the journey of incorporation, explaining like what do you need to open the bank account. And we actually have a relationship with a few banks across the globe who will help you out with the bank account. So we can't promise you the bank account opening if you are outside of those 4 countries, but we will do like all we can in order to help you out with this.
So even the incorporation aspect you can help with. So that's kind of a turnkey on the, legal financial side. If you're looking to incorporate and run a business effectively in one of those. And then Alex, you've spoken about a couple options with me that Osome can provide, almost levels a seller can choose from. And it appears to me the one is more or less that a seller comes to you at the financial year end and they say, hey, I've got details on my business. Will you help me do the books at year end and file? The second tier is kind of ongoing bookkeeping month to month, which is going to obviously create very comprehensive reports and just an easier filing at the year end. So it's ongoing and then includes filing at year end. And then the last level appears to be like extra insights, where it's not only that compliance, which the first 2 levels cover, but it's also now digging into those numbers and saying, hey, this product's way more profitable in the US than the UK, or vice versa, or this market is outperforming this market. So it's telling sellers where to double down, perhaps even where to cut their losses, but all in an effort to grow the business. So can you speak a bit about what are the costs to a seller who wants to join Osome at those 3 different levels?
Sure. So the first one you've mentioned is called our mini accounting package. This is like when we spoke in the like a few minutes ago about the different kind of goals that you have when it comes to accounting. This will only cover the compliance goal. So this is compliance only package. You only gonna have like one consultation with one of our accountants. We basically take all your documents, we'll compile the financial statements, we'll compile the tax return forms, and we submit it to HMRC. That is kind of year-end compliance only bare bone package. So this package is £550 plus VAT, and it includes 100 transactions throughout the year. The next tier of packages, like there are several packages depending on your turnover, those are for ongoing support. So not only you will have access to like our awesome platform throughout the year, where we'll do several things. We will first integrate Osome to the platforms you are selling on. So imagine that you are selling on Amazon in the UK and you are selling on your own website built on Shopify. So what we'll do, we will set up automatic feeds from Amazon and from Shopify into the like Osome accounting software. And what it allows you to do, it will allow you to see how your business is doing like on a daily basis. So we do reconciliation. So I probably need to mention something about like reconciliation. Reconciliation is basically the procedure of matching the bank transaction with the business transaction. So the business sold something on Amazon, and then like Amazon send money to your bank account. So what you need to do then from the accounting point of view is to take the bank transaction and match it with like whatever Amazon order is in there, in order to create like one transaction from the accounting standpoint of view, and then to like allocate it to correct account. Whether if it's sales, it's going to go to the sales account. If it's I don't know, money from the investor came in, it will go to some other accounts. So this we do usually in 24 hours. So from the time that we get your bank transaction and you've sent us the supporting documents, it takes us 24 hours to reconcile the transaction and to post it into the accounting software. So that means that with this packages, you will see how business is doing on daily basis. And on top of that, why is it also like a bit more expensive, and why is it more I think valuable for the sellers? It also includes unlimited consultations with our accountants. So with Osome App, you will have an access to in-app chat. And in this chat, you will be able to ask all the questions with regards to accounting. And we, unlike traditional accountancy firms, we reply in 24 hours. These packages depend on your turnover, and they start from £145 a month. This one is for the sellers with the turnover under £25,000 a month. Then in the third tier that you've talked about, it's actually an add-on to those like second tier packages. That's what we will do basically. We will have a call with the seller. We will understand in the detail what kind of products and what kind of marketplaces the seller would like to track. Like, for example, because it's some sellers don't like to do it on SKU basis because they have a lot of SKUs of the same, I don't know, utensil, but different colors. And there is like no reason for them to track it per SKU basis. They want to track it on like group SKU basis. So, this kind of small details, we'll go through the business. We'll see like what platforms are important to track, what groups of product important to track. And we will set up the tracking categories. And then like at the end of the month, we will provide the seller with the profitability reports based on like the categories we agreed upon previously, and that's where, as you've said, the seller will be able to make a decision in what where to invest the money based on the numbers, based on accounting numbers we provide them with. So this like third add-on, it starts with another £150 a month. And it doesn't depend on your turnover. So whatever monthly packages you have, it's just going to be $150 a month in addition to your package.
And then if you guys do want to learn more about Osome, I have partnered with them. You're going to get £150 of free value here. So practically your first month, if you went with level 2, as we've discussed, which is probably going to be the most beneficial for a lot of you, also includes 0. But your first month is essentially going to be totally free, which I think is an incredible deal, even if you want to just test it out. But that's what we're offering below. Definitely check the link in the description. And Alex, thank you for that generous offer as well. I think people will really appreciate that, and I think it speaks a lot about your service and wanting to, show people even for free what you guys can do, and then earn their trust.
Pleasure. We would like to see more entrepreneurs in the world, and we would like to lower the barriers by like offering this kind of discounts.
And then something I found really interesting about your offer as well, as you mentioned there, as a lot of these sellers would be. They would be in the second tier, a lot of them, if they want the ongoing accounting. A lot of them are going to be below £25,000 a month, especially in the beginning. But what I found interesting is that you actually include 0 in that cost as well. So you actually absorb that cost as well, which is often additional. And this is something sellers also need to know about. It's not just the hiring of the professional accountants, it's also the third-party software those accountants often need to use. Or even if you do this yourself, you're very likely going to need third-party software. But Alex, can you just talk about third-party software and how you integrate that?
Yep. So basically, that's correct. We include 0 into our subscription. Why? Because again, we would like to be full scope solution for the sellers, right? So you don't want to buy like some services from us, then you'll think about, okay, oh, by the way, I need some accounting software, or by the way, I need somehow to integrate my like Amazon account with this accounting software. We would like you to focus on the business, to focus on your customers, not focus on accounting. So we get you covered in the accounting area. Zero is included into our software, but you know what's interesting is that majority of our clients, they don't even open Zero, because like we actually use Zero as our accounting backend, but all the like conversations with accountant, all the reports are being stored in Osome application. We have like both mobile app and web-based app, and there is no need basically for the sellers to go into Zero and to like familiarize themselves with the interface, because like we will do both the compliance part and the like we'll send you actionable numbers. So there is no need for you to go into Zero. With regards to other software that we are using, if the sellers are selling, I know that like majority of your audience are probably selling on Amazon, but if they would like to expand into other platforms, there are platforms where we don't have yet our own integration solution, and that's where we are using third-party software. So that's again, that would be our headache, would be like our problem, what software to use, how to collect the data from those platforms, and how to post it into accounting software. But again, like you wouldn't need to think about it. We'll do it ourselves.
Perfect. And I think a lot will appreciate that approach just for the time saving. But Alex, I wanted to ask you to just showcase exactly what a seller is going to need to do. So what does, say a seller signs up with you for that monthly ongoing package, what do they actually have to do on their end? There's obviously some stuff they're going to need to do, or let's say they have a business expense. How would they let you know about that? If maybe you want to screen share, literally what a seller would need to do, what your tools look like, and just give people an idea of, what they would be looking at in terms of a dashboard and where they could drop their expenses and basically their role on a monthly basis.
All right. Yeah. So when you sign up with us, your journey with Osome starts with the call with one of our senior accountants. On this call, the senior accountant will go through the details of your business, like where do you sell, what types of product do you sell, what type of suppliers do you have, like what are the relationship with those suppliers. Basically all the details for us to better understand your business and to have like fewer questions like down the road. We will also create you an account in Osome app. In this app, you basically will have all the relationship with Osome, and like you will be on top of your financial situation with your e-commerce business. So then, like with regards of what will you need to do, there are two main kind of segments of the transactions that you will have. You will have your sales and you will have your costs. The sales data will be collected automatically from the platforms you sell. If you're selling Amazon, that's going to be Amazon. If you have your website built on Shopify, that's going to be like Shopify. We will set up the integration tools that would fetch the sales data and inventory data from those platforms. And then like our accountants, actually dedicated accountant that dedicated to your company, will take care of posting them into the accounting software. Then there is a second part of the business, is the cost side. And on the cost side, you basically paying your suppliers. And that's like one thing that you will need is to send us the invoices from your suppliers. With regards to bank transactions, we will connect Zero to your bank. We'll help you out to connect like bank feed into Zero. So we will see the bank transaction. and you basically will be sending invoices to support the cost part of the business. But like obviously current times, sometimes people forget to send some documents. So what we've done, we came up with a solution where we take all the transactions that we see in your bank account. We take those where you didn't send us the supporting documents, and you have an additional part in Osome app where you will see all the transactions that need your attention. So basically, if you forgot to send us some invoices, you will always see them here, and you can either take a picture with our mobile app or just drag and drop them here, or forward us emails with the invoices attached to these emails. Once we have all the documents from you, that's actually all that you need to do. Like we will not require any other actions from your side. Then like our accountants will reconcile the documents that you will see on the dashboard. So you'll see all the money you have in all your bank accounts. You will see the bills that you need to pay based on the invoices you sent our way, and you will see the invoices that somebody owes you. So for example, if Amazon has some money in bond, you will see here that you are due to receive some money from Amazon like next month, for example. That's basically all you'll need to know in terms of compliance part of accounting. We'll also store for your convenience the information about your company. Once your business will grow, we'll also allow you to add new team members here. For example, if you have somebody looking after your supplier side of the business, you can add them here, and they will be able to send us the supplier invoices also.
Okay.
If you have more than one company, more than one entity, we also support multiple companies. So you will be able to basically switch between different companies' profiles in here.
Okay. And on that, just quickly, say you did have two companies in here, with those would obviously each have their own subscription fee, or is it still?
That's correct. Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. So those are going to be two different entities. Yes.
For sure. So just to summarize this, if I'm correct, the only thing people would need to do here is go to accounting over there, and then in that accounting tab, they would simply need to drag and drop invoices to those expenses. Because as Alex said before, the whole job of this is to say, okay, this happened in the bank account, money went out of the bank account here, and the whole point of this is to reconcile that and to prove where that money went. And you do that with an invoice. So let's say you did pay a supplier £3,000. You provide the invoice for that, and that proves that's where that money went. And in this way, you're reconciling and you're ready for filing at year end. But I think this is really simple for sellers, in that they just come in here, just upload that invoice, and then they're going to be ready to file, and also have a performance outlook on the business.
One thing that I would like to mention here is that you don't need to look for particular invoice and attach it to here. So this list is just for your convenience. If you for example, forgot to send some invoices, here you will be able to find out, okay, what are the invoices are missing. But what the most people are doing, actually, you will be assigned the special email address, and all you need to do is once you receive the email, once you receive the invoice from supplier, you just forward it to this email address, and this will automatically be digitalized and be assigned to correct like bank transactions by your accountant, by your Osome accountant, and the particular bank transaction will basically disappear from the screen. So it will not be here. You will only see here the transactions where we need supporting documents for. All of those on this screen needs invoice. If you see the red mark, that's actually the comments from an accountant.
Okay.
For example, if you lost, for example, the receipt from Go Cardless, what you can do basically is you can click in there and you can comment that you don't have a receipt anymore, and your accountant will see this comment. He will come in here and tell you basically, for example, look, we have the invoice from Go Cardless from the last month. It actually pretty the same kind of services that in this month, and the amount of invoice is not very big, so don't worry. We'll talk to HMRC. We'll resolve it. Like it's all fine. So this kind of where the functionality of the comments on the transactions comes in.
And I like the email functionality because, as a lot of those watching will know, a lot of invoices come in via email. So you already have them in email form, and you simply just forward it to this email address that Alex has on screen here. So that's going to be really simple in a lot of cases because you're going to have that invoice in email form already. And then Alex, what about VAT? There's been a lot of questions on this. Sellers often get a bit overwhelmed by VAT. And I know it's not helped by the fact that we have Brexit, etc. But in terms of VAT in general, when does that become important for sellers? And how can Osome help in that regard?
Definitely. So there are, as you said, there are a lot of different corner cases with regards to VAT. Depends on what countries you sell in, what types of products you sell. If you are selling food, if you are selling beverages, if you are selling child products, like this kind of stuff. As a general rule, you have to register for VAT once you are above the VAT threshold. Like I'm not an accountant, fortunately, in Osome, so your accountant will know exactly like what is the VAT threshold in each of the countries you are selling. Yeah, I think it's £85,000 in any 12 month. So once you get to this VAT threshold, you will have to register for VAT with HMRC, and you will have to file VAT returns every quarter or every year, whatever cadence you've chosen for your business. Usually it's every quarter. Again, this is one of the things that you can spend your evenings and Sundays researching and trying to understand like what does it mean for your business. Alternative would be if you are on one of our ongoing packages, your accountant will know everything about like when do you need to register. We will register you for free again on VAT, so that's included in your like monthly subscription, and we will also be filing the VAT returns for you on your behalf with the HMRC. All you'll need to do is just to send us the supporting documents along the way. Perfect.
I also wanted to just like clarify some of the things I learned here as well, is that the VAT is going to be specific to the UK and also other European countries. And what Alex is speaking about is that £85,000 threshold per year in total turnover. But that is specific to where your corporation is based, where your company is based. So he's saying if you have a UK company, then only at the point you pass that threshold do you have to register for VAT. But it's quite different. Let's say you run a US LLC or a company outside of Europe, and you start selling in the UK. You actually have to register for VAT immediately. So that's a little bit different. You have to just be careful where your company is based. And remember, VAT is kind of Europe specific. There's a lot of other countries that also use VAT. the US does not charge VAT. Their kind of version of that consumer tax is called sales tax, which you've probably heard about. And in Canada, it's even different. It's actually called GST, goods and services tax. So each country has their own version. VAT is Europe, sales tax is US. And that brings me on to the next point in terms of sales tax. Alex, I don't think you support the specifics of that, but what advice would you have for sellers who are looking for help in terms of sales tax specifically, or furthermore, choose to use your services for, let's say, both UK sales and US sales? How would sales tax, that component, tie in? Since we've already covered VAT.
We don't do sales tax at the moment. We will refer you to one of our partners in there. And in the US, the complication is it depends on the state actually. So it's not even the same rule applies to all of the states.
Yeah, it's even more complex, that one, and the nexus is even different. It's not just holding inventory, but sometimes even if the inventory passes through that state, it's much more complicated. And then, Alex, moving on from the tax side of things, one of the most important almost benefits, I would say, of running a company is the ability to write off expenses and just be smart in that respect, and viewing your company in that way, in a way, earning income, but also, expending that income, spending on certain expenses. And people often ask, what can I write off as an expense? And the line can get a little blurry in terms of, personal expenses. But what would be considered a business expense and what would not be considered a business expense? And why is that so powerful financially in terms of running a company?
My most frequent answer here would be speak to your accountant, because the rules are changing and the rules are case specific. For example, if we see that the seller is in the UK and like working only with the UK suppliers and with the UK customers, and all of a sudden would like to write off the expenses for hotel in Thailand, we will obviously have like a few questions, like because HMRC will most probably have a few questions about like why would we consider it a business expense. But it's better to speak to your accountant, not just in order to make sure that you are compliant.
And it gets a little more complex on things like houses and cars, and what percentage are you using that house or car toward business and towards personal. And there's actually all these ratios and ways you can do it. Often you can choose like a fixed rate, or you can choose this kind of percentage, which is worked out through different avenues. But agree with you, this is something you do want to discuss with your accountant. And I can personally attest to how valuable that is, being able to speak to someone who knows and just having confidence in those decisions. Sometimes they will even scenario plan for you, like if you did it this way, if you did it this way. So it becomes even more valuable as your business grows as well.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then Alex, one of the bigger things that starts to come into play as someone's run a business for a while is, how do I extract funds from that business in a smart manner? And I know these questions are often going to say, speak to your accountant. But in terms of that, does Osome help sellers in terms of effectively taking out personal funds from companies, whether it's wages, salaries, dividends? Does Osome, maybe perhaps at that higher level we spoke of, but do they help with that type of thing and smartly withdrawing funds in a personal sense?
There are two parts of this question. The first one is the correct accounting for those withdrawals, and that's where we'll do it ourselves. We will help you out with like how to pay the dividend yourself, or how to pay the salary yourself. With regards to tax planning, is like, imagine that you have several businesses. Imagine you have investment income. There we don't yet have the solution for your tax planning, but again, we have partners that we will refer to you who will help you out with in what way should you extract money out of your business.
My next question is, can you also do the personal bookkeeping and filing for an individual seller? So they come to you with their business, they onboard their business with you, but at the year end, they also want to do their personal filing. They want to have one contact for everything. Is that something you offer as well?
Definitely. Like for the directors and business owners, we will help out with self-assessment tax. And basically we, in addition to the income that you received from your business in form of dividend or in form of the salary, we will ask you about other income that you have, like from other businesses, or from investments, or from sales of the property, this kind of things. And we will help you with the self-assessment as well.
Lastly, just, last question for you would be, what advice would you give to sellers in terms of bookkeeping, accounting, but it can also be just with running their business? But from what you've seen, mistakes you've seen sellers make, or the benefits of certain things sellers have implemented, if you could just give people general advice in this regard, what would that be?
Get some accounting help and have the system set up and running like from the beginning. This will help you both be compliant and will help you to grow your business in the most efficient way.
I can agree with that. I remember putting off bookkeeping and accounting for quite a while. And then when I did implement it properly, we had to do what's called like mid-year catch-ups for the businesses. And it was so much work getting everything together to be able to onboard with the accountant. So I really do agree with Alex on this, is rather do it earlier. You can see it can be pretty cost effective. Maybe you just need to get to a certain level with the business, but then it's 100% worth it just to have that peace of mind as well. And long term, you're going to make a lot more money this way, because you're going to know what's actually happening with your money. And as he said, he can do both or Osome can do both companies and personal. So you get a kind of comprehensive unit there as well. Well, Alex, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. I think sellers learned a lot in this. We covered some really important questions, and I've just been getting so many comments on, bookkeeping, accounting, VAT, sales tax. So I think people will be a lot more clearer on this, but also where they can get help with this, professional help at a very reasonable cost, and really what they would need to do month to month. Because that's often the most overwhelming is, I'm going to have to do all these different things. Well, you guys can see if you have a good partner in this regard, your job becomes really simple and you just have that peace of mind going forward. But Alex, thank you so much for being here. Any last words?
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope that we would, direct some of your audience into the way to get this like accounting set up early, and that will help them out to focus on the business and focus on their customers. And we will see more entrepreneurs in across the globe starting their own businesses.
For sure. So if you guys want to check out Osome, check the link in the description below. I'm going to have a link right there for you. You can go take a closer look, see which level, which tier, as we touched on earlier, applies best for you. But I hope you guys got value in this. If you did enjoy the video, please drop us a quick like. Remember to subscribe, turn on bell notifications. That way you won't miss any uploads. But Alex, thank you very much for joining again. Hope everyone enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next video.